My name is F1, but mostly I am a professional banker of over 16 years experience. I've handled clients in various industry, vertical, and sectors in Nigeria, including manufacturing, logistics, automobile, and the rest. And when I started off my career, I would say that I had more of of the type of clients that I handled. But I want to say that the defining moment in my career was when I underwent 3T Intex Trade Academy training. The first one was in my standing last year space. So fast forward in 2020 when the COVID came, again, that thought came to me. And this time I said, no, I'll take the bull by the horn. I'm not going to wait for my company to train me. So I heard about, I reached out to 3T Intex, and they're always throwing things at your face, supporting you, not necessarily for you to come and spend your money, but just educate us. So I ran through the different courses that they had, and I just knew that I had to, go for this one. This is the Executive Diploma in Export Business Management. And I can tell you, as at 2020, when we were at the lockdown, I underwent this 3 months training. I can tell you, this has been a game changer for me in my career. I didn't know that non-oil export would become a focus the way it was, but all I wanted to do was to provide, to be able to provide advice to my clients understand exports. I know the trade is processing side from the bank's perspective, but I didn't really understand the export environment and how it affects clients. What does an exporter, what are the pain points? So this course helps me, to have good understanding of the export environment in Nigeria, what to be looking for, what are the risks. It's an all-encompassing program. And at that point, when I finished this program, it opened a huge opportunity for me in my workplace. And I can tell you that I was able to make a high impact and providing solutions for exports, and allowed my company to grow in leaps and bounds in terms of non-oil exports in Nigeria. We are still learning, and I believe that there are more courses for me to take from 3T Intex, and I can recommend this program to anyone and everyone. Even if you are not a banker, you're just a regular trade person, there are other opportunities coming up for trade within Africa, outside Africa, especially with the geopolitical tension. I think we have to equip ourselves with the right knowledge, right skills, so that we'll be able to, take advantage of the opportunities that not just for Nigeria, but for Africa. Thank you very much. 3T Intex, you're the best. Thank you.
A scientifically proven, tested, and trusted template for building a successful and sustainable export business. To pre-order a 53% discount, call 080-912-44449. Are you an account officer, relationship manager, or marketer in a bank? Are you struggling to meet your income and deposit targets? Are you at the verge of losing your job for non-performance? You desire a change for the better in your career? Then register for the Certified Global Trade Management Professionals from the American Institute of Extended Studies. to acquire skills needed to solve import-export trade customers' problems and consequently attract the deposit and income of the transaction to your bank. Registration is currently ongoing. Call this number to register today. Are you a professional or a businessman? Do you desire to earn dollars, euros, or pounds? Have you totally taken your business to the world? Does it look like a daunting task? You desire to know what you need to do to get ready to go global? Do you know that there is a science behind making the product or service to go global in a successful and sustainable way? To learn more about it, get a copy of the book titled Built to Go Global. A scientifically proven, tested, and trusted template for building a successful and sustainable export business. To order, call 080-912-44449.
My name is Victor and I just finished the Certified Global Trade Professionals training. Very rewarding. I work in one of the commercial banks in Nigeria. Frankly, I had struggled with trade transactions, but there was no running away from it. The focus right now in our bank is exports. 2 weeks ago, just 2 weeks to the end of the program, I got a call from an exporter in Ogbomoso that wants to do cassava chips, export cassava chips to Europe. If I hadn't taken this program, it would have been very difficult for me to onboard that customer and have a decent conversation with him about the transaction. The course prepared me in dealing with that customer's request, which is still ongoing. It's just the first step for me. I intend to take additional courses in trade, also with the African Continental Free Trade Area. It's an area where I've decided that I would like to specialize in. So yes, this is the foundation for me. It's been very helpful. Thank you.
All right, good evening, everyone, and thank you very much for joining today. Today we are going to Southeast from South-South last week. We are going to Southeast and Southeast this week, and we are going to Ebonyi State. We are going to Ebonyi State. If you have not got a copy of the book, Built to Go Global, this will be an opportunity for you to be able to get a copy. The book gives you basic information on what you need to be able to make export business a success. It's a summary, it's an outcome of a research work. This will revolutionize the export business for individual, particularly those just coming in, because it's going to help you to be able to significantly minimize the challenges that different people coming into the sector tends to face, because there are not enough information for them to be able to know what are the pitfalls, and of course, how do we avoid those pitfalls. So this book gives you the opportunity to be able to avoid the pitfall. If you also want to have access to this video afterwards, kindly visit this YouTube channel, Voice of African Trade. That YouTube channel will be able to help you to be able to have access to the previous edition of this program. Remember, we started from Abia State. Today we are in Ebonyi State. The last week was Delta. If you want to have access to all the other conversation we've had in this area in the past, you will do well to visit this YouTube channel. Also, you can visit our Telegram channel. If you visit African Export Business Platform for Telegram channel, on Telegram rather, you'll be able to see the channel and can get to have access to the link. The link is sent out every week on that channel, African Export Business Platform. African Export Business Platform. So we've done Abia, we've been to Adamawa, we've been to Akwa Ibom, we've been to Abauchi, we've been to Bayelsa, we've been to Benue, we were in Borno 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, we were in Cross River State. And last week, we were in Delta. This week, we're going to be talking about another very interesting state, Ebonyi State. Ebonyi State. Ebonyi State. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll start immediately.
Are you a professional or a businessman? Do you desire to earn dollars, euros, or pounds? Have you thought of taking your business to the world? Does it look like a daunting task? You deserve to know what you need to do to get ready to go global. Do you know that there is a science behind making your product or service to go global in a successful and sustainable manner? To learn more about it, get a copy of the book titled Pivot to Go Global, a scientifically proven, tested, and trusted template for building a successful and sustainable export business. To pre-order a 33% discount, call 080-912-44449.
So as usual, every week, we look at preamble. Then from there, we talk about peculiarities, and then the profile of the state, the potential, the purchaser, my proposal to Ebonyi State, and of course, how Ebonyi State can profit from export business. Why does Ebonyi State need to export? To avoid overdependence on federal allocation. Why must Ebonyi State export? To boost its GDP. Why must Ebonyi State export? To create opportunity for SME to grow. Why must Ebonyi State export? To decrease dependence on domestic market, particularly by business in the state. Why must Ebonyi State export? To earn export proceeds and grow revenue of the state. Why must Ebonyi State export? To make farming and rural life more lucrative. Why must Ebonyi State export? To gain global market share. Why must Ebonyi State export? So that the state can become home of creativity and innovation. To make the state industrialized, driven by export, to be able to create jobs for youth, to know the value of the state's competitive advantage, to lead for other states to follow by virtue of revenue and income, to make the state independent of the federal government, to enable the citizens of the state to enjoy numerous incentives given to exporters, as well as an opportunity to maximize the indigenous of the state abroad. It helps in poverty eradication in the state. The state can quit the league of state depending on wasting assets like oil. Help in reviving the economy of the state if the state begins to export itself. And I'll talk about that model today. It also has the tendency to slow down rural urban migration There is tax-free opportunity for exporters in the state. It helps the state to utilize its idle capacity. The viability of the state are boosted. The state can create wealth by virtue of exportation. You can get to exploit the potential of the product found in the state, particularly export potential. If they begin to export, they will keep improving on what they have because of competition abroad. And of course, the state can zero in on its area of strength rather than depending on federal government allocation. So what do you see in Ebonyi State? I don't know if there's any Ebonyi State person in this room. What do you see in Ebonyi State? People will see unemployment as usual. What do you see in Ebonyi State? People will see poverty. What do you see in Ebonyi State? Frustration. But you can choose to see in Ebonyi State opportunities in farming. You can choose to see opportunities in mining, opportunities in the capacity of the population. So we'll go on a short break. When I come back, we'll be talking about the peculiarities of Ebonyi State.
My name is Victor, and I just finished the Certified Global Trade Professionals training. Very rewarding. I work in one of the commercial banks in Nigeria. Frankly, I had struggled with trade transactions, but there was no running away from it. The focus right now in our bank is exports. 2 weeks ago, just 2 weeks to the end of the program, I got a call from an exporter in Ebonyi that wants to do cassava chips, export cassava chips to Europe. If I hadn't taken this program, it would have been very difficult for me to onboard that customer and have a decent conversation with him about the transaction. I work in one of the commercial banks in Nigeria. Frankly, I had struggled with trade transactions, but there was no running away from it. The focus right now in our bank is exports. 2 weeks ago, just 2 weeks to the end of the program, I got a call from an exporter in Ebonyi that wants to do cassava chips, export cassava chips to Europe. If I hadn't taken this program, it would have been very difficult for me to onboard that customer and have a decent conversation with him about the transaction. The course prepared me in dealing with that customer's request, which is still ongoing. It's just the first step for me. I intend to take additional courses in trade, also with the African Continental Free Trade Area. It's an area where I've decided that I would like to specialize in. So yes, this is the foundation for me, and it's been very helpful. Thank you.
Peculiarity. What are the peculiarities of Ebonyi State? It's a southeastern state inhabited by the Igbo tribe of Nigeria. The capital and largest city is Abakaliki. It was created October 1, 1996 by General Sonny Abacha. It's bounded in the north by Benue, in the west by Enugu, in the south by Imo and Abia State, and in the east by Cross River State. A small state, total land mass 6,400 square kilometers, has 13 local governments, population about 3 million people, vegetation, tropical savanna. Major crop, of course, you will know rice is one of the major crop of this state. Then yam, then maize, then beans, cassava, and solid mineral-led crude, salt, and gas. Opportunities exist in agri, light manufacturing, healthcare, energy, and mining. This state has huge salt deposit, lead and natural gas deposit, best road in southeast, tourist attraction because of Abakaliki Green Lake. The state IGR is about 7.5 billion as of 2019, but the budget of the state is 178. Budget of the state is 178. Interesting. Interesting. The state has unemployment rate, working population of 1.7 million, total unemployment 429. But like I said every time, when the government say unemployment, they are talking about people that don't have a job. But there are people that are underemployed who have a job actually, but cannot. Who have a job actually, but cannot, for one reason or the other, cannot work for more than, that can't work up to 8 hours a day, but rather working for less than 8 hours a day. They are said to be underemployed. It really does not matter what they earn, it's about how long they are able to work. Let's look at the profile of this state. IGR has been growing, but as 2020 it was about 13.6 billion naira. Federal government allocation is about 47. So my question is, how did this state arrive at having over $100 billion in budget? 100 billion naira in budget rather. So if you look at this now, total debt profile, 44 billion, with 6 billion naira and 65 million foreign debt. That's about 36 billion. So this state is having almost 80 billion. It's a small state with a very low income, but with a huge debt of 80 billion naira. Just like many other states, and this is just very common. I don't know, for most states that we have examined in this program, when you look at the IGR as a percentage of total revenue, many are not up to 25%. When you look at IGR as a percentage of total revenue, many of them, they are not even closer. They are not even closer to 25%. See this? 77 federal government allocation, 13.4 billion naira IGR. The state is doing well in capital expenditure, which for me is commendable. This is among the few states in Nigeria that operating expenses is a lot lower than capital expenditure. In many states in Nigeria, capital expenditure will usually be about 20-30%, and the operating expense, which is the one that is shared, is usually very, 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 very high. Usually very, very, very high. According to budget, look at what budget has to say about Ebonyi State. The state emerged second position in 2021 ranking, up from 6th position in 2020 and 2019. Steady growth in revenue is commendable. Key area of fiscal strength need to be consolidated to sustain improved performance. The improvement in this year ranking is driven by improvement in idea, increased prioritization in investment in capital expenditure over operating expense. Ebonyi State is one of the 5 states in Nigeria that spend more on capital expenditure when you compare to operating expense. No wonder they have a lot of good roads. So, apart from River State, Anambra State, Cross River, and Kaduna, the next state is Ebonyi. These are the top 5 states in Nigeria that are spending a lot on capital expenditure. That means what you see on capital expenditure is much more higher than what you see is much more higher than what you see in operating expense. Despite the challenge of COVID, the state recorded a total internal revenue of 30.5 in 2020, up by 80% from 7.4. Performance is better than 21.3% year-on-year growth. Although this feat is laudable, we know that Ebonyi still have one of the smallest IGR size among the ranking 22 and ranked 22nd by size, indicating there is need for more work to be done. But the biggest growth in its IGR was primarily driven by 2.92 billion increase in MDA revenue, representing 256% growth from 1.14. Income tax payee also saw 44% growth. However, analysis of the Ebonyi State government recurrent revenue component of its total revenue indicates is still dangerously dependent on federal allocation. Dangerously dependent. Ebonyi ranked the 3rd most indebted state in Nigeria, so 33rd. That means it's not as indebted compared to others. And it's owing almost 80 billion. So many states have owing owing so much. Ebonyi State, despite the economic downturn, outdid itself in its investment in capital expenditure, recording a 93% year-on-year increase in capital expenditure. It spent from 39 billion in 2009 to 76 billion in 2020. Most significant improvement in capital expenditure was noticeable in the social sector, particularly Ministry of Health, Education, which received 26.69 billion. Economic sector, which shot off from 23 in 2019 to 34 in 2020. The priority Ebonyi State has placed on investing in citizens is truly commendable, and the growth is worth emulating by other states in the Federation. We'll now move on to the potential of this state. But before we go, do that, let's go on a short break.
My name is Victor A, and I just finished the Certified Global Trade Professionals training. Very rewarding. I work in one of the commercial banks in Nigeria. Frankly, I had struggled with trade transactions, but there was no running away from it. The focus right now in our bank is exports. 2 weeks ago, just 2 weeks to the end of the program, I got a call from an exporter in Ogbomoso that wants to do cassava chips, export cassava chips to Europe. if I hadn't taken this program, it would have been very difficult for me to onboard that customer and have a decent conversation with him about the transaction. The course prepared me in dealing with that customer's request, which is still ongoing. It's just the first step for me. I intend to take additional courses in trade, also with the African Continental Free Trade area. It's an area where I've decided that I would like to specialize in. So yes, this is the foundation for me, and it's been very helpful. Thank you.
All right. All right. So, potential. Agric is the major occupation of people of Ebonyi State. Crop produced are yam, plantain, cassava, maize, and cocoyam. Others include palm produce, cocoa and rubber. Is a leading producer of rice and yam. Ebonyi State is a leading producer of rice and yam. Potato, maize, beans, and cassava. Rice and yam are predominantly cultivated in Eda, but the state also has several solid minerals, but little large-scale commercial mining is going on. The state government has, however, given several incentives to investors in the agri sector. Ebonyi State is called salt of the nation because of the huge salt deposit at the Kosi and Uguru Lake, Salt Lake. Ebonyi is primarily an agricultural region. It's a leading producer of rice, yam, potato, maize, beans, cassava in Nigeria. Rice and yam are premium correlated in Eda, like I said earlier, a region within the state, and Ebonyi has several solid minerals, including crude. The state has, however, given several incentives. Mineral resources in the state include salt. Now, you know what I discovered? For example, solid mineral in the state, I know is a big deal, particularly lead and zinc. Purchaser. Now, let's look at some of the products produced by this state. And who are those purchasing it? Palm oil from the oil palm. The market size $29.3 billion. India, Pakistan, China, Spain, Netherlands, Italy, United States, Egypt, Kenya. And in Africa, Egypt, Kenya, South Africa, Benin, Tanzania, Angola, Senegal, Somalia, Togo, Djibouti are major buyers. Another thing in the state is rubber. China, Japan, India, Germany, United States, Malaysia, South Korea, Vietnam, Turkey, Canada, Mexico. With a major market in Africa, South Africa, Egypt, Algeria, Eswatini. Kenya. Then banana, $14.2 billion market. Germany, China, Japan, United States, Turkey, South Korea, Saudi Arabia, Netherlands, Belgium, Russia are all major buyers of this product. In Africa, $229 million of Algeria, South Africa, Senegal, Tunisia, Libya, Morocco, Botswana are major importer of banana. How about rice? The rice market, Benin Republic, Iraq, China, Saudi Arabia, Philippines, United States, Canada, France, Germany, United Kingdom, Belgium are all major source. They are all major source of buyer for rice. In Africa, 6 billion out of the 24 billion, 6 billion demand is from Africa, and Benin is a major demand. You know Benin is behind Nigeria. If Benin is less than Lagos, is buying rice more than South Africa, more than Kenya, more than Ethiopia, 100 people, more than Egypt. Your guests are good as mine. Majority of that rice escaped to Nigeria. Majority of that rice escaped to Nigeria. Even though you won't see record that Nigeria imports rice, but for those that go to the market, you will know that the seller will tell you, do you want a foreign rice or local rice? If you want local, they will give it to you. If you want foreign, they will give it to you, because rice is still being smuggled into the country. How be it not as much as it used to be? Potato, $5 billion. And this is a product produced in this state. Who are the major buyers? Belgium, Spain, Italy, France, Hong Kong, United States, Germany, Netherlands, Russia, Egypt, Algeria, major importer of rice. So of potato. Africa is about $334 million. From Egypt to Algeria to Morocco to Tunisia to Senegal to Libya to Mozambique to Mauritius to Botswana to Mali. These are major importers of potatoes in Africa. Now, we'll go on a short break. When we come back, then we'll look at proposals to the Ebonyi State government.
Are you an account officer, relationship manager, or marketer in a bank? Are you struggling to meet your income and deposit targets? Are you on the verge of losing your job for non-performance? You desire a change for the better in your career? Then register for the Certified Global Trade Management Professionals from the American Institute of Extended Studies to acquire skills needed to solve import-export trade customers' problems and consequently attract the deposit and income of the transaction to your bank. Registration is currently ongoing. Call this number to register today.
All right, so proposal to the state government of Ebonyi State. The state can do a lot in this space by engaging the energy of the human capacity that is already developing, by spending a lot on education and health, which I think is commendable compared to many other states in Nigeria. Spending a lot on education and health, I think, is very commendable. However, if the state wants to grow the SMEs, which are decided at the engine room of the nation, or engine room of growth of the nation, then some things have to be taken off the SMEs. If you have SME 1 taking up production, harvesting and transport, SME 2 or another SME taking up primary processing and storage, or even the same SME, secondary processing and storage, then SME again marketing, sales, logistics and export, do you know what happened? You create inefficient value chain operators. You create low processing capacity and low output. Few jobs are created. Low quality and packaging. High cost of production. Non-competitive products in the export market. However, look at this. If we just change the dynamics of this value chain, create a processing center let it be big, managed by a large corporate. Maybe for rice, for example, or for potato, for example, whichever product the government decides to focus on, but partner with a private sector who will ensure that if I bring my raw materials, they will design my packaging, they will process the product, design my packaging, print my packaging, put it inside. So when I bring raw material, when I'm coming 2 weeks' time, I'm coming to carry finished product. If I come in 2 weeks' time, I'm coming to carry finished product. If we do that, look at what we are likely going to see happen. Look at what we are likely going to see happen if we decide to go this route. Number one, you have efficient value chain operator because of low cost. Efficient value chain operator. Because now you are dealing with large corporate organization, partnering with government to process, you have a very large capacity and large output. That will reduce the cost of production because they can achieve economy of scale. Good quality and packaging. Good quality and packaging. Low cost of production and competitive products in the export market. Increased job creation. Increased job creation. Why? Because you are going to be creating jobs as a result of this kind of model. You are going to be having a lot of SMEs. So jobs are going to be created. Because SME are going to be able to grow. And like I said, SME, we say, is the engine of growth of economy. If there is job creation, you expect reduction in inequality. But more importantly, because people are going to be engaged, reduction in insecurity. In order to support exporters in Ebonyi State to enter market in Europe, Asia, and America, the state can partner with representatives at that destination to market and secure contracts. The state can set up a warehouse for pickup by wholesaler and retailer at destination. The state can set up an entity agent or distributor at destination. The state can partner with independent inspection agent and distributor at destination. It can also organize and sponsor its manufacturers in the state for exhibition in the international market. What is the profit for the state? How does the state profit? We have done again a model just to show what is possible. This model demonstrates how Ebonyi State can leverage on palm oil production to generate income of 247.5 billion naira. Remember, this state makes less than 100 billion in a year, all revenue put together. As of 2022, the budget of the state was 145.4 billion. But from palm oil alone, the state can actually make more by generating 170.2% of its budget. All the state needs to do is to work with farmers in the state, maybe partner with Okomu Oil, for example. The state farmers produce enough palm fruit that is purchased by government and processed using the private organization they are working with. And through the private organization also get buyers. And from the proceeds, they can pay the farmers. They can pay for export. They can fund the operations. And have a sharing formula, after paying all the stakeholders, have a sharing formula with the processor, private sector, maybe in a 70-80 or 70-30 or 80-20 ratio. But what I know is that this state can use half of its land to cultivate palm fruit at a yield per hectare of 18 metric tons, can generate 1.9 million metric tons. If this is processed with palm oil at a yield of 19%, it can have 372 metric tons of palm oil. If you sell this palm oil at 1,600 metric tons FOB price, it can generate about $605 million which we convert at 415, it can be $251 billion. When you subtract the cost of farming with profit for the farmers, the cost of processing, the cost of export, you can still have as much. You can still have as much as 247 billion when you add the state stuff to it. The state IGR. If you add it to it, you can get as much as $247.5 billion. This basically is to show that Ebonyi State can also generate more than its budget in a year. The state will partner with SPV, set up an SPV and partner with a private organization to set up that special purpose vehicle, provide funds. The SPV provide expertise. This company is being run by a private organization who formed the farmer into cooperative, issue possible over to them with a bank guarantee to purchase all they produce, train them, give them input, support them to produce, buy off all that they produce at the collection center, and this is processed into finished product. This SPV source for buyer abroad, do the shipment, present document, get paid, pay all the people. The state government does not need to pay everybody when it's getting the goods. Just pay them in 3 months' time, give them a guarantee so that they know that the state government will definitely pay. And state use his own share of this money for the development of the state. It's my belief that with this kind of model, the impact of the suggested model for a state government goes beyond generation of revenue via export. It has an humongous impact on employment generation, increased economic activity in the state. This, in my opinion, is a more effective and efficient and enduring model for diversifying the economy of any state in the country. This model can also be replicated by federal government at federal level, especially for the exportation of solid minerals. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we round off for today.
My name is Victor and I just finished the Certified Global Trade Professionals training. Very rewarding. I work in one of the commercial banks in Nigeria. Frankly, I had struggled with trade transactions, but there was no running away from it. The focus right now in our bank is exports. 2 weeks ago, just 2 weeks to the end of the program, I got a call from an exporter in Ogbomoso that wants to do cassava chips, export cassava chips to Europe. If I hadn't taken this program, it would have been very difficult for me to onboard that customer and have a decent conversation with him about the transaction. The course prepared me in dealing with that customer's request, which is still ongoing. It's just the first step for me. I intend to take additional courses in trade, also with the African Continental Free Trade Area. It's an area where I've decided that I would like to specialize in. So yes, this is the foundation for me. It's been very helpful. Thank you.
All right. SPV, Special Purpose Vehicle, is basically a business set up to achieve a particular objective. It's just set up to achieve. So the federal government, the state government, and the private entity set up an entity in which they both have interest and their stakeholder in, and they use it to drive the business so that when they ship, that will be the name they will use. When money come in, that's where the money will come also into. So that means government have a representative on the board, and the private entity also have a representative on the board of that company. So next week, we'll be discussing, I'll be glad to go to Edo State. I want to see what Obaseki is doing in Edo State. We'll be seeing Edo State next week, and upper we'll be looking at Ekiti State, Let's see what Fayemi is doing in that state. It's getting more interesting for me because we're going to be getting to learn a lot about what the state are doing. Is RT200 loan available now at commercial bank? Yes, it's available. It's available. It's available. I was with a CBN official that is in charge of that fund at Zenith Bank event yesterday. I was on one of the panel at Zenith Bank event, and he was on the panel before me, so we sat together. And I asked him about this same question, and he said they've started already. You can apply to them to get this loan through your bank. You can apply to them to get this loan through your bank. It is a single digit. I don't know the exact rate, but it's usually it will be a single digit facility. If you are yet to get the book Built to Go Global, the book that gives practical example of why business fail, export business fail, and what you can do to avoid it, please get your copy now. If you also want to have access to this video afterwards, please subscribe to our channel. It is Voice of African Trade. If you search for this on YouTube, you can subscribe, like, share, and please remember to drop your comment. If you also want to get a link to this program every week, visit African Export Business Platform on YouTube, sorry, on Telegram, and you get to see the link every Thursday.
Are you a professional or a businessman? Do you desire to earn dollars, euros, or pounds? Have you thought of taking your business to the world? Does it look like a daunting task? You desire to know what you need to do to get ready to go global? Do you know that there is a science behind making your product or service to go global in a successful and sustainable manner? To learn more about it, get a copy of the book titled Built to Go Global, a scientifically proven, tested, and trusted template for building a successful and sustainable export business. To pre-order at 53% discount, call 080-912-44449. Are you an account officer, relationship manager, or marketer in a bank? Are you struggling to meet your income and deposit targets? Are you at the verge of losing your job for non-performance? You desire a change for the better in your career? Then register for the Certified Global Trade Management Professionals from the American Institute of Extended Studies to acquire skills needed to solve import-export trade customers' problems and consequently attract the deposit and income of the transaction to your bank. Registration is currently ongoing. Call this number to register today.
My name is F1, but mostly I am a professional banker of over 16 years experience. I've handled clients in various industry, vertical, and sectors in Nigeria, including manufacturing, logistics, automobile, and the rest. And when I started off my career, I would say that I had more of trade knowledge around trade import because of the type of clients that I handled. But I want to say that the defining moment in my career was when I underwent 3T Intech's trade academy training. The first one was in my standing large scale space. So fast forward in 2020 when the COVID came, again, that thought came to me. And this time I said, no, I'll take the move by the horn. I'm not going to wait for my company to train me. So I heard about, I reached out to 3T Impex, and they're always throwing things at your face, supporting you, not necessarily for you to come and spend your money, but just educate us. So I ran through the different courses that they had, and I just knew that I had to, go for this one. This is the Executive Diploma in Export Business Management. And I can tell you, as at 2020, when we were at the lockdown, I underwent this 3 months training. I can tell you, this has been a game changer for me in my career. I didn't know that non-oil export would become a focus the way it was, but all I wanted to do was to provide, to be able to provide advice to my clients, understand exports. I know the trade is the processing side from the bank's perspective, but I didn't really understand the export environment and how it affects clients. What does an exporter, what are the pain points? So this course helps me, to have good understanding of the export environment in Nigeria, what to be looking for, what are the risks. It's an all-encompassing program. And at that point, when I finished this program, it opened a huge opportunity for me in my workplace. And I can tell you that I was able to make a high impact and providing solutions for exports, and which allowed my company to grow in leaps and bounds in terms of non-oil exports in Nigeria. We are still learning, and I believe that there are more courses for me to take from 3T Impex, and I can recommend this program to anyone and everyone. Even if you are not a banker, you're just a regular trade person, there are other opportunities coming up for trade within Africa, outside Africa, especially with the geopolitical tension. I think we have to equip ourselves with the right knowledge, right skills, so that we'll be able to, take advantage of the opportunities that not just for Nigeria, but for Africa. Thank you very much. 3T Impex, you're the best. Thank you.
All right, everyone. Thank you very much for being able to make it today. See you next week, and have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.